Hello everyone, welcome to this week's episode of Wehry Weekly History and Entertainment News. Entertainment stories are getting harder and harder this holiday season, as many businesses and events are being canceled or delayed. However, there are still things to do. And I'll be talking about movies one can still see, either at home or streaming during COVID. First, it's time for this week's trivia question, which will be answered at the end of the movie segment. This week's question is, in honor of the holiday season, what franchise has the top 4 highest grossing Christmas weekend movies? Now, for this week's local entertainment headlines. The Jacob's Pillow Dance Festival in Lenox struggled in 2020 with the COVID-19 pandemic, but that may now be the least of their problems. On Tuesday, November 17th, a fire destroyed the famed Doris Duke Theater, which had been open since 1990. It was originally conceived as a place for new, adventurous work for dance, and was one of 2 outdoor theaters at the location. The fire is still under investigation, but the theater is a total loss. Thankfully, there were no injuries and no other facilities were damaged. In a statement, Artistic Director Pamela Tacey said, quote, "While we have lost some precious, irreplaceable items, the experiences and memories will last forever. We are heartbroken and we are relieved that no one was hurt, and we are grateful for the outpouring of support from around the world that we have already received, and we will rebuild," end quote. For more information about the fire, as well as to see how you can support the Jacob's Pillow in their time of need, donating money to the Jacob's Pillow Rescue Fund, or watching performances that will help raise money for the facilities, visit jacobspillow.org. In more positive news, Winterlights at Naumkeaug is still going on. This was previously discussed on WWHEN. As a refresher, this event takes place in Stockbridge every winter season. Each year, more than 150,000 energy-efficient LED lights are spread across the 48-acre historic gardens. It makes for a beautiful sight and is one of Berkshire County's most well-attended winter events. Winterlights at Naumkeaug will be taking place from November 27th through January 2nd from 4:30 to 8:30 p.m. It will not be open on either Christmas Eve or day. Tickets are still very limited, so check the trustees.org/Naumkeaug page frequently. Tickets cost $25 for non-members and $20 for members on Fridays and Saturdays, $20 for non-members and $15 for members Sundays through Thursdays, $10 for non-member children and $5 for member children every day between the ages of 3 and 18, and children ages 2 and under get in for free. Only 50 people will be allowed at one time, and 200 visitors will be allowed during the course of an evening. Visitors must limit tours to an hour, wear face masks and/or coverings, and comply with social distancing regulations. Even under this extremely trying year, the Berkshire Museum will still be holding its ever-popular Festival of Trees event. This year's Festival of Trees will move from the museum's galleries into shops, restaurants, offices, and other locations throughout Pittsfield and surrounding towns. Normally, this would be starting during the Thanksgiving week, but due to COVID, the Berkshire Museum delayed the opening until later in the month. As a result, the Festival of Trees will be running later than it usually does. This year's theme is Legends of the Berkshires. According to the Berkshire Museum's website, quote, Legends of the Berkshires invites the community to explore tales from the place we call home. Dive into the history of the first recorded baseball game, learn about the famous figures who grew up on your street, and investigate rumors of mysterious sightings in our hills with a collection of bright and colorful winter displays spread across Pittsfield and the surrounding community, end quote. Who knows? You might even find something that you saw on an episode of WWHEN. The Festival of Trees will be taking place from November 28th through January 10th, 2021. There is still a lot to be determined for the festival, including what trees will be displayed, where the trees will be located, and who this year's sponsors will be. Stay tuned to WWHEN for more information, and also visit BerkshireMuseum.org as well. Naumkeaug, the Berkshire Cultural Resource Center, and MCLA are presenting a series titled In Session. These are 4 panel discussions on anti-racism work in museums, and they will be streamed live on MassMocha's YouTube channel and Facebook page. The first 2 sessions will invite artists, curators, and art administrators to discuss how museums represent minority trauma in artwork, exhibitions, and performances, and navigate the resulting implications and challenges that they face. In the first discussion, which will be held on December 10th at 6 p.m., artists Nick Cave, Sean Leonardo, Steve Locke, and Xavier Simmons will be discussing how 2020 in particular has affected how we look at race, sex, gender, and more through artwork. This will be moderated by M. Carmen Lane, another artist who deals with racial issues. As stated earlier, this will be taking place on both MassMocha's Facebook and YouTube pages live. You can reserve your tickets now by visiting the website shown here. Also, if you have any questions you would like to ask the moderators, you can email them to insession@massmocha.org before the December 10th date. It's now time for a WWHEN road trip. As stated on previous episodes, road trips are meant to be in-state only, as Massachusetts is not allowing travel outside of New England due to the COVID situation. Our road trip this week is to Forest Park in Springfield, Massachusetts, specifically to view the Bright Nights Holiday Light Show. Since 1995, Bright Lights has been a unique public/private collaboration between the City of Springfield's Department of Parks, Buildings and Recreational Management, and the Spirit of Springfield, a non-for-profit organization. It is known as the Northeast's premier holiday lighting experience, gaining national attraction and awards in publications such as People magazine, where it was named as one of the top 10 holiday happenings in America, the New York Times, Yankee magazine, and Yahoo.com. This is a beautiful light show with many different themes within the displays, including Letters to Santa, North Pole Village, Jurassic World, and lights honoring local businesses, such as the MGM Springfield Casino. Bright Nights at Forest Park will run from November 25th through January 6th at State Park Forest in Springfield. It is located approximately 1 hour and 12 minutes from Pittsfield, 1 hour and a half from North Adams, and 1 hour 40 minutes from Lenox. you can purchase tickets at the website shown here. In addition, passes to the event can be purchased at any Big Y store, including the ones in Pittsfield, North Adams, Great Barrington, and Lee. This is an extremely safe event because this is a drive-through experience only. No getting out of your vehicles required. As you can see by this picture, ticket prices and fees vary by date and whatever vehicle you are riding in. Also, when purchasing tickets on the website, only credit cards are accepted. In lieu of a Wehry Weekly History and Entertainment News segment, I'm going to be doing an extended discussion on movie news. First, RT's favorite films. This week's film is one that is near and dear to my heart. Not only because I am a huge baseball fan, but if I never saw 42, WWHEN may not even exist. This movie was released in 2013. It tells the story of Jackie Robinson, who was the first African-American baseball player of the modern era. By the way, the movie makes a common misconception, and one that even I have made. It calls Jackie Robinson the first African-American baseball player ever in the major leagues. Actually, there were over 20 African-American ball players in the 19th century before a color barrier was officially established. In any case, 42 shows the racism that Robinson faced his first year, as well as how he changed not only baseball, but American sports in general. The title refers to Jackie Robinson's jersey number. The number 42 is also significant to Major League Baseball. In 1997, 50 years after he played his first game, Jackie Robinson's number 42 was retired throughout Major League Baseball. No one could ever wear it again, unless they were already wearing it prior to the retirement announcement. Every April 15th, which is the anniversary that Jackie Robinson played his first game, 42 becomes unretired for one day. All MLB players wear the number 42 that day to honor Jackie and the struggles he went through. The exception was this year, as the MLB season was delayed due to COVID. 42 was a major success at the box office, earning $95 million against only a $40 million budget. You can currently stream the movie on Amazon Plus or rent it on YouTube, Google Play, or iTunes. So why do I love this movie? As stated earlier, I am a huge baseball fan. Jackie Robinson's story has always stood out to me because of the struggles that he had to face. I even did a project on him in the first grade for a history class. I had high expectations of 42, and I was not disappointed. It told the story well, which is difficult considering how you know it's going to end up. 42 is more about the journey than the destination, and it showed the racism that Robinson faced well. It hits all the right beats. In addition, the late Chadwick Boseman was amazing as Jackie Robinson, just as he would be in all of his performances. This was his first big movie role, and I was impressed with how he brought Jackie to life. Another reason that 42 sticks with me is because of my entertainment career. As a college student, I began gaining an interest in watching movies from a movie critic standpoint. The same year that 42 came out, I started my own movie review Facebook page, where I would watch films and then post my reviews there. 42 was the first movie that I ever reviewed, and whenever I wrote a review after that, my first review of 42 always stuck in my mind. Without 42, I may not have even gotten into WWHEN. There are several new movies available on demand. Some of them were released in whatever theaters were open during the pandemic, while others are going straight on demand. This comes at a perfect time. Many families have a tradition of watching movies during the holidays, even if they aren't traditional holiday movies. The first of these movies is The New Mutants. I was able to see this movie in the Regal Cinemas in Lanesboro prior to its shutdown. If you are curious about seeing this movie, check out my October 7th episode on YouTube for more information. The second movie is Dreamland. This is a drama/action movie, which went straight on demand in light of the COVID situation. In Dreamland, a teenage bounty hunter is torn between helping and capturing a fugitive bank robber hiding in his town. This movie stars Travis Fimmel, Margot Robbie, Garrett Hedlund, and Carrie Condon, and is directed by Miles Horace Perrefty. The last of these new on-demand releases is The Broken Hearts Gallery, which was able to make it into some theaters. In this romantic comedy, with a hint of drama, a New York City art gallery assistant creates an exhibit of souvenirs from her past relationships. This movie stars Geraldine Viswan, Thacker Montgomery, Molly Gordon, and Philippa Sue. Prices on all three of these movies vary. The New Mutants and Broken Hearts Gallery were able to be released to theaters, so they are currently at the regular on-demand price of $6.99. Since Dreamland is coming straight on demand, however, it is more expensive than the other two. But with that said, it is cheaper than most movies that are coming on demand, at the price of $9.99. It's now time for the answer to this week's trivia question. As a reminder, this week's question was, what franchise has the top 4 Christmas weekend highest grossing movies? The answer is Star Wars. It holds each of the top 4 spots. In order of highest grossing, the films are The Force Awakens, which made $49 million on Christmas weekend. The Rise of Skywalker made $32 million. The Last Jedi made $25 million. And the prequel Rogue One made $24 million. The new Star Wars films clearly recognized that Christmas time was their time. Any other movie that tried to compete against Star Wars that week was blown out of the water. That ends this week's episode of Wehry Weekly History and Entertainment News. You can watch this week's episode on PCTV Channel 1301, CTSB Channel 1301, and NBCTC Channel 1301. Airtimes on all 3 of these networks vary. Visit the websites shown here for more information. Please note that if you want to see WWHEN in HD quality, visit my YouTube page at RT Wehry. Thank you.